dreams come true! Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it! Make your dreams come true! Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it! Just do it!
It is no secret that I, Dan, Mimic Brew, or pokemontcg, as the United States government knows me as, we'll get to that in a sec. It's no secret that I am not a sealed investor bro, but I am an investor bro. Just in raw cards. And the whole point of this video here tonight, what I'm going to attempt to parlay to you is the idea that comparing sealed investing to singles or raw investing is essentially the dumbest, most idiotic, not one for one, not comparable thing you can possibly give an opinion on.
What?
Okay, so basically it goes like this. There are two roads. Road 1 is sealed investments. Road number 2 is investing in raw or singles. A lot of people think you have to choose one or the other, and a hell of a lot of people think that the sealed investment road, the sealed investment highway, is the hands down no-brainer, easiest way to make money, safest way to make money, and no matter what, you should just invest in sealed. Don't mess with singles. I am here to tell you that that is
bullshit.
And the reason it is bullshit, I'm going to throw a ton of B-roll, some pictures, guys. I'm going to literally show you PSA subs from last year. I'll show you my last PSA sub. I'm going to show you how much I sold on eBay last year. I'm going to show you how many cards I graded last year. I'm going to show you my highest sales on eBay, like singular items that I sold. Basically, guys, I'm here to, as transparently as possible, articulate to you that you absolutely can make a shit ton of money investing in raw, aka singles, rather than sealed. And depending on how much time you have on your hands and how much you love this hobby and how much you want to dive headfirst in this hobby and eat, sleep, and breathe Pokemon cards, if you're one of those people, the more you choose the invest in raw and singles, the quicker you will accelerate your profits, your funds, your collection, you name it. One of the roads inevitably takes a lot more time than the other road. Okay? And so here we go. Break it down, but I do have a giveaway winner. Real quick, I almost forgot. So many of you are wondering who the hell won that Twilight Masquerade Pokemon Center ETB, brought to you by Valleywide Sports Cards in Scottsdale, Arizona. And the winner of the, it was Kathy Gao. Kathy Gao, hit me up on IG. You are the winner of the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box de la Twilight Gatorade. So congratulations to Kathy Gao. Kathy Gao, hit me up on IG to claim your prize. All right, so anyway, let's start off right now, and I'm going to tell you right here and now why it's just the dumbest thing ever to try to give an opinion on which one is better. So here it is. First of all, comparing these two ways that you can involve yourself in the Pokemon TCG might as well like be comparing a movie to a video game. One is a static thing that does not change. The other, depending on how you play it, how you involve yourself in it, what happens with it, can greatly determine how much you enjoy and how much success you have with it, aka the video game. All right? So, a sealed investment that you buy at a retail value, a market price, on X date today, let's say, that you sell 2 years from now. You are selling that product that you invested in, that sealed product, in the exact same state that you purchased it in. all you did was throw it in your closet and let it increase in value over time. Hence, collectibles, okay? To compare that to something that nobody who, let's break this wall down immediately. The type of verbiage that is used when saying investing in sealed is so much better than investing in raw, you're not even using the right words, because people who invest in raw, they don't sell in raw. They grade and flip. They alter that item via an authentication and grading process and put an additional $15 to $20 into that item to increase its value, thus rendering that item something now completely different than what it was when they purchased it. So to take that entire process and to just simply compare it to sealed investing, I'm sorry, that is way, way flawed, and that is not a one-to-one comparison at all, period. You just can't do that. So, TCA Gaming, I'm going to bring him up for a sec. The guy over the last 20 years has invested millions of dollars into raw cards. Not sealed, but raw cards. Does he sell those cards raw? Absolutely not. He grades them and sells them at a massively large amount more money than he bought them raw for. And that's a guy who specializes in $2 cards, $3 cards, $1 Black Star promos. The dude owns every Grail Charizard in the world. His favorite card is the Sleepy Charizard V from the Charizard UPC. So as you can see, you can literally be at the top of the mountain and you can stay there just by involving yourself in minty, raw, affordable cards and doing the right thing with them, aka grading them and flipping them, okay? So, let's go over the type of personality that fits either of these roads and why this personality will be very successful down this road, whereas this personality might be much more successful down this other road. And we'll kind of go from there with the pros and cons of each of these roads. Roads being sealed investing versus investing in raw and singles. If you are someone who does not have a lot of time on your hands, you have a family, you have kids, you have whatever the hell going on, and you cannot wrap your head around the day-to-day and the ins and outs of the Pokemon TCG, market values, and yada yada, there is a very, very good chance that just being a sealed investor will work out very well for you. So long as you have a stable home environment, and that goes for anything. That goes for both roads. Let's back up. The number one most important thing you can do if you are trying to accomplish anything side hustle related in life, it doesn't matter if it's Legos, Pokemon, social media accounts, whatever it is, the number one thing that you could do to even have a chance is have your shit squared away at work and at home. Have a stable home life where you know where you're going to be living for the next year. Don't have crazy roommates, okay? Have a job that is stable, that provides you enough money to actually cover your bills. And even better, have a job that gives you the opportunity to pick up overtime if need be, or work extra hours. Once you have your home life squared away, your work life squared away, and no, you cannot successfully do anything if you're just thinking about some girl you like and you're worried about relationships and all that drama, okay? Get the drama out of your life, get any instability at home out of your life, and then get a job that is at least stable and at least gives you the opportunity to make additional money if need be. Once you have all three of those things totally squared away, now you have a chance to do something very successful and very profitable. Get those three things figured out first. Now we can actually go down either one of these two roads successfully. Okay? Sorry, I just like to give real, raw advice that is actually helpful. Okay. So back to the sealed and what kind of individual will do really good with sealed investments. You have extra money. You have the type of capital to where you can buy a case of something and just throw it in your closet for 2 to 3 years. You are the perfect example of a soon-to-be successful Pokemon investor. Congratulations, okay? You'll probably do very good so long as you literally just do that. Put it away and forget about it for 2 or 3 years. There's a lot of people that, in theory, can do that. And there's a lot of people that think they are going to do that and yet still somehow screw that up. Because, again, they didn't have the first 3 things we talked about squared away. So they had to sell early, flip early, get out of their positions early. Okay? Sealed investing inevitably requires time. And if you don't have your life squared away over that course of time, you will not be a successful sealed investor. I hope I'm not like being earth-shattering with these things that I'm saying right now. It's very obvious, I feel like. Okay. Raw cards, raw investment. I already hit you guys with people don't buy raw cards to invest in to sell raw later. That's not really a thing. That's not something, unless you're like Pokemon Steven over in Australia, who is like eBay's #1 seller in that region. He buys a ton of Japanese cards raw. He actually does sell them raw for a small profit, but he actually makes a majority of his money grading a lot of those cards too. So even a guy like Pokemon Steven, who invests raw and sells raw, makes most of his money on graded plays. Okay, anyway, so putting money into singles and raw cards is heavily dependent on where you live and how well or not do you have access to minty fresh raw Pokemon cards. If you live in the middle of nowhere, I can assure you, you have a way better chance of being successful as a sealed investor. Because anybody living in the middle of nowhere can at least buy the sealed product, get it to their home, and then put it in the oven for 3 years, okay? So just like that, the barrier to entry, the feasibility of success for all things sealed investing is inevitably easier and more apparent for the average person. The difference is the ceiling, the volume, the sheer amount, and the time. The amount, the impact that you can make on your collection, on your career goals, on your social media platform goals, on your YouTube channel, the things you can do if you have the time, if you have the brain power, if you don't need that much sleep, with raw cards, grading and flipping, and even selling playable cards that are raw. Like I make a lot of money just pulling raw playable cards out of bulk and selling occasionally off the Danny Phantom videos. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, if you have the time, if you love Pokemon, and if you are obsessed with Pokemon, I can pretty much guarantee you can make vastly more money, and especially if you actually have the ability to acquire. Like, I'm in a mass acquisition phase where for the last year and a half, all I've been doing is just acquiring. Once I took an entire year, I started an eBay account from zero sales, nothing, made a real eBay store. My goal was to hit 1,000 sales in the year and become a top rated seller. I did that, and I did that by just grading and flipping and just scouring my area. A lot of Japanese cards. I did order a lot of Japanese cards directly from Japan, but when it comes to English, I very fortunately am in the Phoenix area. Tons of card shops. The gem rate for my submissions is just high as hell, okay? I get a lot of gem and 10s, and I made a lot of money. So $17,500 in sales, okay? That's not a lot. There's rip and shippers that will ring that up in one night. You know, there's Probstein, there's Catch 'em All Collectibles, there's TCA Gaming, there's people that literally sell that in the afternoon. But being a guy that has a full-time job, plus works overtime, plus got other stuff going on, plus I have other Pokemon card related goals, for me to go to 0 to 1,200 sales or whatever it was, and to net that $17,500, and then spend, over $5,500 on PSA grading fees, for me, just, the average Joe who's just doing this as, getting a side hustle up and running, I cannot tell you how proud I was to hit 1,000 sales. I cannot tell you how proud I was to see that I, netted, rang up 17,500, take off the almost 6,000 in grading fees, the shipping labels, the eBay seller fees. I probably on the side netted like 6,000 extra dollars, on top of my full-time job. And I reinvested all of that 6,000 or so dollars into more raw Pokemon cards, more minty Pokemon cards, more. I reinvested all of that. And so for the last year, all I've done other than grow my YouTube channel, I've become a master setter. It's pretty much a Possum Bud's fault that I started doing that. I just fell in love with binder collections. And this SV era is so amazing. It's hard not to want to master set every SV set. But, okay, so again, if you're geographically locked, if you don't have a lot of time on your hands, yes, you can be a very successful sealed investor over time. But you're not going to get anything done rapidly that way. Whereas raw cards, the raw card market, grading and flipping, being good at grading, getting a high percentage of 10s, immediately selling those cards, flipping into new submissions. If you have the stomach for it, if you have the brain, if you have the brain power for it, and if you love doing that, and that, don't even get me started on rip and shippers. If you become a successful rip and shipper, you can on the side for your own personal collection amass things that would take other famous collectors these days, which would have taken years and years and years to amass. But because there's so much interest, so much money dumping in, that the whole investing in sealed is the only way to successfully go about it. It's just not even close to true. There are rip and shippers that make more in one night than, eBay sellers do in a year. There are people who make one graded play flip and make more than, actual, there's a lot of different ways to make a lot of money, and it's all dependent on you and the way your brain is wired, what you have access to, who you know. It is not as simple as just do, just invest in sealed booster boxes, sell in 2 to 3 years. Yes, that works, but man, all the money that I spent on raw cards over the last 2 years, if I spent that on sealed products, yeah, I might be, there's a lot of stuff like the Pokemon Center ETBs, I might be up 50, 60, 70% on. Okay, cool. Let's take the Charizard UPCs, for example. Charizard UPCs, I think about 8 or 9 of them. I spent $100 on them. I got them on a 2-for-1 deal or whatever. And yeah, if I didn't open them, I'd be up 100% because they're up to $200. So maybe I made $800 or $900 on my Charizard UPCs from 2 years ago. But look at this. My 2 biggest eBay sales last year in 2023 were a sequential set of Charizard UPCs for one set a little over $400, the other set a little under $400. That's 6 total cards that just paid for my entire Charizard UPC investment. I still have 20 more Charizard UPCs other than those 6. I still have all the Evolving Skies packs. Over my shoulder right there is a Sylveon Altart from Evolving Skies that I pulled out of one of those Evolving Skies packs that was in one of those Charizard UPCs. The point is, I graded Charizard promos, I got them sequentially graded in 10s, and I sold them for a shit ton of money only a couple months after I bought those Charizard UPCs. If I didn't open those Charizard UPCs, it would have taken me 2 years to make that amount of money. I'm just being honest. And yeah, I graded way more than just those 6 total Charizard UPCs, and I made way more than $800 off those Charizard UPCs. Okay, so there's just one example where I literally ripped open a sealed product and made way more off grading than investing in it for 2 or 3 years. Okay, and God, I still have even the raw ones. I still have more raw ones, and they're $15-$20 now. All right, so basically, I'm gonna sum it up because I think I've already gone kind of long. Yeah, but all I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with being a sealed investor if that's what's good for you. And there's absolutely, definitely nothing wrong with being a raw card or single card investor if you have the ability to do that and you have the time and the energy to do that. One is easy mode, and as long as you have your life squared away and you just have the ability to sit on your hands for a couple years, you will be moderately to very successful. The other one takes way more time, way more energy, but if you like doing it, the ceiling is literally limitless. Like, you can make so much money at such a higher, more accelerated rate dealing in raw cards that you either eventually grade or do whatever than just sitting on sealed product. I'm not knocking sealed investors. I am just saying the ceiling is way higher if you know what you're doing and you are investing in raw to grade and sell. All right, that's all I got. Hopefully the B-roll I threw in here, I'm gonna cover a lot of me talking. You already saw it. I'll throw B-roll in there for you guys. But yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow on Hottest Cards of the Week. And to all my Australian viewers out there, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Oi, oi, oi!